The Invisible Cage: How to Escape Learned Helplessness. Have you ever faced a situation so consistently difficult, so predictably painful, that you just gave up? Not just on that situation, but on the very idea that you could ever change it. You stopped trying to find a better job. You stopped voicing your opinion in a one-sided relationship. You stopped believing your efforts at the gym or in your studies will ever pay off. This isn't just quitting. This is something far deeper, a psychological state so powerful it rewires your brain for surrender. It's called learned helplessness, and it's the silent architect of countless unrealized lives. Today, we're not just going to define it, we're going to walk into its prison, understand how it locks the door from the inside, and, most importantly, find the key to walk back out. Act 1. The trap is set. The world of uncontrollable shock. Our journey begins in a laboratory in the 1960s, but its echoes are in your life right now. Psychologist Martin Seligman conducted a brutal but illuminating experiment. He placed dogs in a chamber where they received random, unavoidable electric shocks. At first, they tried to escape.
They scrambled, they howled, they searched for an exit. But none existed. The shocks were inescapable. After a period of this torment, something profound and tragic happened. The dogs stopped trying. They simply lay down, whined, and endured the pain. Then, Seligman changed the rules. He opened a simple, low barrier to a safe, shock-free compartment, a barrier any of the dogs could have easily jumped. But they didn't. The shocks came again, and the dogs, having learned that their actions were futile, didn't even attempt to escape. They had learned that they were helpless. This is the genesis of our story. The hero, whether a dog, a person in a toxic job, or a child in a neglectful home, is subjected to pain or stress where their actions have no consequence. No matter what they do, the outcome is the same. This is the call to adventure that is really a call to surrender. The hero learns a devastating lesson. Nothing I do matters. This is where the invisible cage is built, brick by psychic brick. It's not just about failure. It's about failure in the face of total unpredictability and lack of control.
When you study hard, but the exam questions are arbitrary, when you work overtime, but your boss's anger is random, when you express love, but receive cold indifference, your brain starts to forge a connection. My effort and my outcome are not linked. This is the core wound. The hero crosses a threshold, not into a new world, but into a prison of their own mind's making. They stop being an agent of change and become a passive recipient of circumstance. Act 2. The prison of the mind. Symptoms of the surrendered self. Now trapped, the hero exhibits the classic trilogy of learned helplessness. First, motivational deficits. The drive to try, to initiate, to respond evaporates. Why bother applying for jobs if you'll just be rejected? Why bother suggesting ideas if they'll be shot down? The psychological motor stalls. Second, cognitive deficits. The brain struggles to learn that things have changed. Even when a new, helpful path is opened, a supportive mentor appears, a real opportunity arises. The hero's mind, clouded by the past, fails to see it or believe it. It's like being shown the open door of the cage, but being convinced it's still locked.
Third, emotional deficits, most notably depression and apathy. A deep-seated sadness and resignation set in, a feeling of, this is just the way it is. This is the ordeal of the journey. The hero isn't just facing external hardship, they are battling an internal narrative that has been chemically and neurologically reinforced. Studies show learned helplessness affects neurotransmitter systems, like serotonin, and can literally change how our prefrontal cortex, the seat of planning and decision-making, functions. The cage isn't just psychological, it's biological. The world becomes a place that happens to you. You attribute failures to permanent, personal, and pervasive causes. I failed because I'm stupid. Permanent. It's all my fault. Personal. And I fail at everything. Pervasive. This is the villain's origin story, born not from malice, but from distorted learning. But within every ordeal lies the seed of the return. The revelation often comes from a mirror, seeing the same helplessness in someone else, or from a sliver of unexpected success that doesn't fit the old story. Maybe the hero is forced into a small, controlled task they can't avoid, and they succeed. A tiny crack appears in the wall of their prison. This moment of what if is the most crucial. It's the beginning of unlearning. Act 3, the road back. Learned optimism and taking control. The journey back isn't about a single triumphant escape. It's the painstaking process of learning control. Seligman, after discovering this debilitating phenomenon, dedicated his later work to its antidote, learned optimism. The path to freedom is a cognitive restructuring, a deliberate rewriting of the internal script. It begins with the mentor's guidance, often a therapist, a coach, or a resilient part of the self, who teaches the hero to practice ABCDE. A is for adversity. The bad event happens. Your idea is criticized in a meeting. B is for belief, your automatic, helpless thought. I'm terrible at this. I should just stay quiet. C is for consequence, the feeling and behavior. You feel shame and disengage for the rest of the day. This is the old automatic loop. The escape begins with the next steps. D is for disputation. You actively argue against your helpless belief. Is that really true? Last month I had a successful project. Maybe the criticism was about this one specific point, not me as a person. E is for energization, the new feeling and behavior that results from disputation. You feel determined and later ask for specific feedback to improve. This is the hero's new training. They learn to catch the automatic thought of helplessness and interrogate it. They shift their explanatory style from permanent, personal, and pervasive, I always mess up, to temporary, external, and specific. That didn't work today, but I can try a different approach tomorrow. They start with micro-actions, tiny tasks they can 100% control. Making their bed, cooking a meal, a 5-minute walk. Each completed task is a brick removed from the cage wall, proving on a neurological level that action can lead to a chosen outcome. The return with the elixir is not a fairy tale ending where all adversity vanishes. It is the acquisition of psychological immunity. The hero returns to the ordinary world armed with the knowledge that while they cannot control every event, they can always control their response to it. They understand that helplessness is a lesson, not a life sentence. The elixir they bring back is resilience, the proven ability to face setbacks, dispute catastrophic thinking, and persevere. They become a living testament that the most powerful cages are the ones we stop trying to open, and that freedom begins not with a giant leap, but with the simple, courageous decision to try the door again.